I'll pee right after you too, so. Happy drunk movie day. Oh, fuck. Oh, so a lot of people have watched the other episodes and they were a little upset that I did not get as drunk as they thought I would get drunk. So that shot was for you. The sunglasses were to show you that it's hot out and it's summer and that I'm a really cool guy. So I have a great guest on today. He's a hilarious stand-up. He's an amazing comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the amazing Sean Devlin. Movie couch.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it. A lot of drunk movies have been seen on this couch before. Craigslist.
Yeah.
120, I think.
Feels like 240.
Sean, movies, alcohol, where do you stand on them in conjunction with each other?
I love drinking.
Yes.
I love to watch movies. Mm-hmm. I will watch pretty much anything.
What we do on this show is I have a funny person on, such as yourself. We have a quick little chat like we just did. We talked about furniture, Paul Blart, alcohol, everything like that. Then we go see a terrible movie. Then we're going to come home, drink some more, and talk about that movie and, you know, just
Great.
see what happens.
I'm excited.
So I picked the one movie that is the only movie right now that keeps making money, and it's #1 at the theaters because there's no other competition. So Sean, today we're going to go see The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Great.
Do you have any idea what that movie is?
No.
So here's from what I know is that it's Ryan Reynolds,
Okay.
who plays a bodyguard,
Yeah.
who's protecting, what do you think?
A bodyguard.
Well, he's a bodyguard, so he's the...
He's protecting a second bodyguard.
A hitman.
A hitman.
He's the hitman.
I had already forgotten the
body-
name
yeah.
of the... I thought it was the bodyguard's bodyguard.
I got 2 shots here. We will not be drinking beer today, so this might get extremely weird. Normally I stick to beer.
Should we review the movie before we see it? That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Who? Maybe the bodyguard doesn't know that he's protecting a hitman at first. Maybe he's been lied to and he thinks he's protecting a mild-mannered businessman, and then all of a sudden Samuel Jackson or Ryan Reynolds, I actually don't know who plays
Takes
who.
his gun. Gonna take his gun.
Take it like, and he's like, "You're not a carpet salesman."
Yeah. If someone in the film actually says, "You're not a carpet salesman," I'm gonna give you $5.
Can it just be "You're not a blank salesman"?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's fair enough, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Deal. So 2 shots. Here we go. We'll do them and we'll get out of here. Cheers. Happy Buddy Day.
Should I
Yeah, you go and then I'll walk behind you. See you in a bit.
I'm a AAA rated executive protection agent. And you're the most wanted hitman in the world. My job is to keep you out of harm's way.
We are back
from the movie.
Woo! Should we cheers these two? I thought we would get fancy since we're drinking tequila. When was the last time you had a fancy drink like that, huh?
I've never seen an umbrella this small.
Wait. Sean, you are too much! Movie starts. It's going along. I'm not going to say if it's good or bad. It's not good. And then all of a sudden, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman's in this movie.
Gary Oldman just out of nowhere appears wearing terrible old man makeup for some reason.
Blisters, a lot of...
He was on set for what? Maybe 2 days,
Yeah, a
max,
couple days.
2 or 3 days.
And you just look tired. It's the kind of movie that the main character gets in a car at the start of the movie. Ryan Reynolds gets in his fast car and he revs it up. And right as he's revving it up, the titles of the movie crash in.
It was a 2000, like a movie from like 2002 beginning. It was credits rolling in, like letters crashing together, and with like a nondescript score with like violence, drums, violence, bass, drum, violence, Hitman's Bodyguard. Can you give us the plot of a movie in like a Cole's Note, small version, condense it, let the people know?
Okay. Gary Oldman? Oldman? I don't know his last name. Gary Oldman? Oldham.
That is actually the plot. That was the easiest drunk movie day plot to describe, and that was it.
Okay.
It's essentially a road trip buddy movie.
Yeah.
With 2 guys that butt heads and eventually find a way to love each other.
Want to do another shot? I mean, your people were asking for it. I don't necessarily need it.
That's what you people wanted. There's a scene in the movie that is in every action movie where there's a convoy. Samuel L. Jackson is in a convoy. He's been arrested. He's in like one of those big armored trucks. Has there ever been a scene like that in the movie where one of the trucks doesn't get blown up by a missile launcher? How many convoys have you seen?
I've seen the Santa Claus parade.
Did anybody get blown up in that?
No. He's always there at the end and everyone claps.
Yeah. I do remember that at one point the bad guy from the movie Desperado shows up and he plays the bad guy in every movie he's in. And he is supposed to be a good guy with Interpol.
He looks so crooked.
Yeah, he was a real creep. A little bit of perspiration always. Suit doesn't fit properly.
He had a bandage wrapped around his hand.
Because he got stabbed.
And then he was actually greasing back his hair with his own blood and nervous sweat.
Imagine seeing Interpol, which I assume is a very well put together organization, and one of your agents has a gauze that's still oozing blood through like he did, and he's just like, oh, good. And everybody in the office is just like, hey, what's up, Paul?
I wonder who the mole is. The opening sequence shows Ryan Reynolds as this fancy, big-time bodyguard, and he screws up.
Yep.
One of his clients dies.
Yep.
And then it hard cuts to 2 years later, and his life is way worse. But what I don't like is when they show a character who's had like a fall from grace, but then even in the fall from grace, like he still had a car. Like he's still doing better than me.
He went from clean shaven to having like your length of beard, which apparently immediately means that you're a failure. That you have that.
So I felt a bit alienated by this proposition that the film was making.
They didn't have the moment where somebody woke him up in his apartment and he was hungover and the apartment's a mess, and then he has that scene where he puts a bunch of things into a blender and he's like puts weird stuff. There's like, at first it seems normal, so it's like a piece of banana, some strawberries, some milk, and then all of a sudden coffee grinds. What? A pizza slice? Pepto-Bismol? And then he blends it and then chugs it? That is the definition of rock bottom in a movie.
You just wanted to see Ryan Reynolds make a disgusting smoothie.
I want to see that piece of shit drink garbage. Is that so wrong?
The Japanese man who's killed at the start of the movie, his name is Kurosawa.
Like the director.
And they keep saying his name. A lot of filmmakers will have influences and they'll include that in their film, sort of in a kind of artistic way.
Of course.
But I think the gentleman who directed this film, whose name I don't know, I felt like it was more like a defensive thing where when it was done, he was like, hey, you don't think I've seen movies before? I have, and I watched one made by a Japanese guy, so I'm going to name this character after that guy who made that Japanese movie.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Ryan Reynolds just made everybody do whatever he wanted.
What was the show? The pizza show. Him, two girls in a pizza place.
Originally, it was called Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. And then it was just called Two Guys and a Girl.
What? But they were still in the pizza place.
They wanted to get away from that. They felt like that was alienating a lot of people who couldn't eat cheese.
But they didn't. They were still in every episode, primarily located within a pizza
they didn't
place.
want people to think the pizza place was a person. It'd be like Big Bang Theory. You're like, hey, where's Big Bang? Because you keep waiting for this cool dude to show up to beat up all the nerds named Big Bang. There's a part where they're in London, and then in the background they had CGI'd the egg in London. If you have a movie nowadays, you show that egg and not Big Ben.
Yeah. Or a guy with a black fuzzy hat, and he's like,
Behave. Yeah. Hey, behave!
Oh, that's really good.
Have you ever seen the Queen's Guard? They do that. They point at you and they go, hey, behave!
Yeah. There's literally a moment when Ryan Reynolds yells, why are we always yelling? To Sam Jackson. It was like he had notes on the script, but he was giving them within the scene, which suggests that things were a bit out of hand.
But even at the beginning, when Ryan Reynolds is down on his luck, he's still an amazing bodyguard. He just has a 5 o'clock shadow and like a little bit of gray in his hair.
Yeah, you can be down on your luck and not pee in a Snapple bottle. That's, it's not unusual.
I feel like you turn a sharp corner when you pee into a bottle in a parked car.
I haven't been that sad before. Should we cut now to a thing where I'm peeing into a bottle? My favorite Sam Jackson line within this Sam Jackson movie. And Ryan Reynolds says, I'm trying to keep you out of harm's way. And Sam Jackson says, I am harm's way.
Did Samuel L. Jackson quote Pulp Fiction at one point?
There was that part in that chase scene in Amsterdam. There was a brief moment in the car where he was like, do you like the movie Pulp Fiction? If you do, this movie is also like Pulp Fiction.
There was that weird scene where Ryan Reynolds just goes through Samuel L. Jackson's IMDb page on his phone. Remember that during the chase scene?
Yeah. And he was like, if people like these movies, they should also be in the midst of enjoying this movie.
Get it. Get it. They had the trope of the 80s, 90s action movie where every henchman is so loyal to the bad guy that they will die for no reason.
I think it's about self-confidence, that they've woken up in the morning, they've looked in the mirror, and they've thought, I am not a man, I'm a henchman.
I'm not a Gary Oldman, I'm a Gary Oldman. From a scale from 1 to 10 smug Ryan Reynolds faces, how do you rate this?
If you've already seen Safe House with Denzel Washington, which is another film where Ryan Reynolds has to transport a black man who's great at killing people to a place in a certain amount of time. If you liked that movie, or if you've already you like that movie so much you've seen it multiple times, then you should watch this movie.
People want to find you online.
Sean Devlin on Facebook.
Okay. So anywhere on Facebook is probably the best way.
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know this thing. Way more awkward than I thought it would be.
See you next time. Oh, God damn.
There's potential for catastrophic weather events on a global scale.